Good morning, class. I hope you're ready for another exciting day in APUSH. Today we're going to be reviewing for something that probably won't be on the exam. Oh well. Today we're going to be reviewing the history of suffrage. Let's start with the 15th Amendment. Following the Civil War, there were 3 amendments added to the U.S. Constitution. The 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. The 15th Amendment, blah, blah, blah.
Ugh, history is so boring. I wish I never took this class. Everything is about these boring guys who do nothing, but seem to do everything at the same time. Also, why do we even care about these people?
Men could do stuff while women couldn't. Blah, blah,
Study
blah.
for this exam. I mean, I can't even remember anything about these presidents anyway. They all sound the same, and honestly, I don't even care which one was drunk and which one threw crazy parties in the Oval Office. But I wonder why they don't talk about the first ladies.
Universal male suffrage, blah, blah, blah.
Oh my gosh, can we please stop talking about the men of history? Why don't we acknowledge the women of APUSH, like the first ladies? They may have even done a better job than their husbands. Man, I wonder what would have happened if the first ladies were president instead.
My name is Abigail Adams, and I was the second First Lady of the United States. I was married to John Adams, the second President of the United States, and he was low-key the worst. I mean, his whole presidency I advocated for women's rights and why women should have the same rights as men. I mean, I even wrote him a letter. All I said in the letter was, I desired that you would remember the ladies.
And be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation.
I sent that letter to John to show to his fellow founding fathers, and you know what they did? They laughed at me. What was so funny in that letter that they had to laugh at me? Is women's rights funny to you, John? Is it? Is it?
I wish I could have done more for America, but I kind of died before my husband, Andrew Jackson, went into presidency. But instead, my favorite niece, Emily Donaldson, took over as his first lady. Even though I got a lot of praise from my contemporary thinking, I still got a lot of criticism, and even though I had progressive ideas I couldn't go against, I was still laughed at by my peers because I had the courage to actually tell my husband my thoughts, and even though my thoughts were very progressive and ahead of its time, it was kind of useless because no one wanted to speak up against President Jackson. Many things that he did were really troublesome, like with the Native Americans and the bank, but no one listened to me and everyone listened to him. What?
Hi, my name is Sarah Polk. No one would listen to me, so I just did things behind the scenes. I helped my husband, James K. Polk, through his presidency. I helped write his speeches, as I'm doing now, his correspondence with the politicians, and I even gave him advice on many, many issues. If you want people to listen to you, you have to make it seem like they are listening to someone else they find more credible. The public doesn't care what's being said. Rather, they focus too much on who. My advice to you, since I've given pretty good advice to my husband in the past, would be to do things yourself. But be careful about them knowing who did it. I would have made a great president if people just accepted that I am female.
Do I even need to explain this? I basically was the first president. In October 1919, my husband, Woodrow Wilson, suffered a terrible stroke that made him pretty much incapable of being president. So I decided I would take matters into my own hands. Instead of having the vice president take over, I personally would run memos back and forth from Congress to the White House to Congress, and I would even sign bills myself. I was basically the most badass first lady / first president, and I'm kind of upset I don't get any recognition for it. People could say nothing good happened while I was president, but nothing bad happened, did it? And that might be more than other presidents could say, so
Hi, quick little side note before I leave this video. I just wanted to let everyone know that this picture you see above you is fake. I staged this. The American people wanted to know where Woodrow was so badly that I decided it would be really smart to stage a photo of him signing a bill.
Anyone who is friends with me knows how much I hate McCarthy. This fool had the whole nation convinced that there were communists everywhere. This would have never happened if I was president. I would have shut that down so fast. Actually, the only reason why Dwight even criticized McCarthy was because of me. I convinced him how terrible his idea was and how McCarthy should be silenced. If I was president instead of my husband, we could have avoided 4 years of chaos, and we could have led the country in a new direction to focus on our future. I did focus on the future of America. I worked hard to beautify our nation's cities and highways, and I even spoke with Congress directly to get things done. My husband supported me unconditionally, and he even said I should have been president over him. But I am a woman, so I was incapable of running the country. I gave the American people proof of my passion and disciplined work, but that didn't matter, all because I was female. I started my time as First Lady comforting my dear friend Jackie Kennedy, which made the public see me more as a passionate woman rather than a tough woman who could be president. I worked hard to transform my image into something more meaningful. I was very involved in my husband's work, and I supported my husband and he supported me. The American public supported him, but they didn't support me in the way I wanted to be supported.
Well, I wouldn't have to be a part of this video if nothing went wrong 2 years ago. I'm fine. But what? If I became president, there would have been healthcare for everyone. Suck it, Paul Ryan! Also, all public universities' tuition would be free for any family with an income less than $125,000 per year. Make immigration and the path to citizenship easier. Also, I would have pushed equal pay between men and women to close. Raising the minimum wage would have been a priority for me. I would have raised the minimum wage from $7.25 to $12 being president. Can I be done talking about this? I'm still mad about my loss 567 days ago.
Are you okay?
I'm fine!
Everyone run another lap! Hi there, I'm Michelle Obama, founder of the Let's Move program to help fight childhood obesity in one generation. Whether it be providing our schools with healthier food choices, helping kids be more physically active, or urging companies to market healthier foods, Let's Move gave parents the support they need to help their children make healthier choices. If I were president instead of my husband, I would make sure that everyone was happier and healthier.
Wow, that was crazy. All of those women were so cool. Hey, I just had a flashback to where all the first ladies became president, and it was so awesome. I would love to see a woman president pretty soon. But it sucks, women aren't taken seriously. For centuries, women have been put in a different spotlight than men, and they're thought of less capable of making decisions for the country and, influencing change. Brittany Souza, who works at the Department of Political Science at Chapman University, says that females are negatively characterized as emotional and gullible and subordinate to others, which puts them at a disadvantage when running for office. I mean, women only hold 20% of Congress and 25% of state legislature seats, and only 12% of governorships.
Hey, what are you two mumbling about?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about how administrations would be different if the first ladies were president.
That is actually a very interesting discussion. My friend Shannon O'Brien at the University of Texas mentions how the role of First Lady frequently gets an undeserved reputation as a place without power.
Wow, we can obviously see that the First Ladies were a lot more involved than we get taught in school.
I agree.
In all honesty, they were the brains behind several administrations. Maybe a woman will get voted into office one day and get the credit that she deserves.
As a nation, we must push for and encourage more young girls to express their interest in politics and government. They should not be criticized for their interest in making our nation better.
Yeah.
The first ladies were all capable of being president, and some may even been more qualified than their husbands.
Yeah.
We need to move forward and remove the stigma that women are just meant to be housewives. They can do more!